Well, welcome back everybody to video number 4 in the Wild Soul series. We're talking about guidance from your wild soul and connecting to your inner mentor. And the last time we covered 6 of the 10 forms of communication from your inner mentor. Today we're going to continue talking about those. But if you've been enjoying this Wild Soul series, please hit the like and subscribe button below and to get notified of the next video. So we talked about in the last video, clairvoyant, clear seeing, clairaudient, clear hearing, clairsentient, clear feeling, clairalient, clear smelling, clairgostant, clear tasting, and claircognizant, clear knowing. What did you learn about yourself and your receptivity methods? How did the exploration go? Feel free to comment on your experiences in the comments below. And today we're going to talk about messages that appear in the outer world, or at least 3 of them. We're going to talk about synchronicities, opportunities, blocks, or delays. We talk about how to recognize them, interpret them, and then we'll talk about the role of dreams as message carriers. So synchronicities. Synchronicities are the occurrence of events that seem unrelated, but leave us with a curious sense that we should pay attention. They come out of the blue. We can try too hard to look for synchronicities, and then it becomes more of a superstitious or obsessive encounter rather than guidance. So for example, many years ago, I used to play this game with myself that if the stoplight stayed green, then something I wanted to happen would. This isn't guidance. It's wishful thinking or magical thinking. We want to remain aware of the possibility that something is wishful thinking rather than synchronicity or predictive of a future result. We just want to hold it lightly as a possibility, as guidance. So synchronicities have a different, lighter feel than wishful thinking. They're more grounded. They grab our attention because they're unexpected and somehow related to something we have been thinking about or working on. Synchronicities may provide an answer or a clue to your next step. They may direct you somewhere for an answer. They may inspire an idea. They may forge an unexpected connection as if it were a networking event. So some examples of synchronicities. You may be thinking about a particular subject when someone mentions a book on the same topic, and that book has the answer we have been searching for. Sometimes we notice this because we have a particular book or a particular movie or something like that has been mentioned 3 times. And the first time, second time, it didn't seem related to us. But the third time, we're like, I think there might be something there. I'm going to at least check it out. Another way it comes up, maybe you bump into someone you've been wanting to meet, but you didn't have their phone number and you didn't have any common connection. And now suddenly here you are bumping into them and chatting with them. Maybe you're driving along and you notice a new billboard and the message or the picture suddenly give you an aha or an inspiration. Synchronicities connect seemingly unconnected events, ideas, or people. Plus, they're just fun. So here's an exercise to train you in looking for synchronicities. It's basically to train your attention. Helps you develop the skill of noticing as synchronicities as well as opportunities and blocks in a gentle, effortless, fun way. It can even help you become more aware with the clairs as it develops a skill of increased awareness of the value of small things on your path. So here's how to do this exercise. When you're walking, be aware of pennies or any change on the ground. I don't want you to actively search for change, though. This isn't work. We're not trying here. We're just being open. And that's what you want to cultivate, is that openness. Cultivate an openness to seeing the change on the ground. In flying, when we're searching for traffic and it's this tiny dot in the sky, we scan in the general direction we expect the traffic to be, and then we allow our eyes to soften until the other airplane comes into view. And that's how you want to do this. Noticing synchronicities is done the same way. You want to be aware of the possibility without trying too hard. You want to glance in the general direction of your feet from time to time as you walk, but let your peripheral vision pick up and notice what's there. The second value of this exercise has to do with the importance of recognizing things of small value and the fact that we may dismiss guidance of any kind or synchronicities because we judge them not big enough to count. Picking up pennies in public trains you to notice things of small or incremental value and to be willing to act on them, even if others might find it silly or valueless. So the actual value of the found change is obviously not the point. How many you find isn't the point either. So don't get discouraged if you don't find any. The point is simply to train your awareness. So another form of communication are opportunities, doors opening. There's a saying that luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. Seneca said that. But you need to be able to recognize opportunities when they arise. And like all other forms of soul communication, they may be quiet and seem impressive at first. Your practice with synchronicity, the pennies from heaven exercise, develops this key skill of noticing. In fact, opportunities themselves are a form of synchronicity. So here are some things to think about, to remember with open doors. Some opportunities are meant for you to walk through. Some are there to sharpen your discernment about what you do not want, and others are simply ideas for you to consider. Doors opening often coincide with the end of your preparation phase and signal that you are just barely ready for the next step. When they open, you're probably not going to feel completely comfortable yet, but you usually are. So don't allow self-doubt to stop you from walking through that door. Always pay attention to how an opportunity feels in your body, though. If it's exciting and a little scary, you're probably on the right track. If it's a big no, your body will tell you. If the opportunity is not a hell yes and not a hell no, and the stakes are not huge, then lean forward and say yes. Opportunities often lead to other opportunities, and motion in any direction creates momentum. Bottom line, doesn't have to be the opportunity, doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be aligned with your path. Delays or blocks, doors closing, or closed doors are another navigational tool, but it can be a little tricky to interpret these two, the delays and closed doors. What do they mean? Do they mean I should stop? Do they mean I should try harder? Do they mean I should go in a different direction? So here are some ways to think about blocks and delays. Delays often mean that more preparation is needed before a door can open. But if other indications are encouraging, then you're still on the right track. It can also mean that the timing is simply not right yet. If your intuition suggests this to be the case, take a rest, enjoy the time off, and don't work. Don't work harder thinking that that will make a difference. Delays are a part of every path, as are rest stops. Closed doors. Closed doors can mean that you're off track. You may need to change direction a bit. And off track does not necessarily mean that you have done something wrong. It simply means that this door is not a part of your path. Is a closed door asking you to rethink what you want? Is it asking you to reconsider alternative routes? It can also mean that you're not ready. You haven't done the preparation needed to be able to step into that opportunity. You still need some more skills building, or you need some awareness, or you need something that you will need when that door opens. So you want to look at these two things and be honest with yourself. Are you not prepared? If not, redouble your efforts. I will say I tend to be rather impatient, and as a result, things always take longer than I think they should. If this is the case, stay the course and keep putting one foot in front of the other. If you have given 100% your preparation and the door you wanted is still not opening, it may be that the door you wanted is just not a fit for your path, and some door will open that is a better fit. Trust that whatever door eventually opens will meet the essence of your desire better than you could have imagined on your own. One of the things I've noticed that is pretty consistent is that our imagined destinations almost always contain a plot twist. We set out, we plot a course to some place where we think we want to go. We're going from point A to point B, but in fact, we're meant to end up at point C. And we may not have had the life experience to even know about point C, so we couldn't have chosen it as a destination, or we couldn't have imagined how it would fit. So we plotted a course to the place we could imagine, which is just fine. It's in the general direction, and we want to walk towards that. And then when a door closes or another door opens, an unusual door opens, then we're on a detour to a place that will fit us even better, a destination. So here's a way, because they can be a little confusing about what they mean, blocks or delays. If they leave you confused about their meanings, consider different possibilities and then go into your body and feel the answer that your body carries. What resonates as most true for your body? What does the delay mean? What does a closed door mean? What could it mean? And you'll probably have a clearer sense from your body. So messages in dreams. So here we head back from the outer world back into the inner world for this last message carrier, dreams. In the dream state, we're open to guidance from the unconscious. So here's an example. Before I received a serious diagnosis several years ago, it was preceded by a series of warning dreams, so that when the physical signs began appearing, and they were subtle at first, I was more alert, and I noticed right away, and I noticed the pattern, and I headed to the doctor. So that's one of the ways in which they can show up. Other dreams have provided meaning to confusing things that were happening in my life, or they've provided inspiration, or they've provided a validating message. I don't believe that all dreams are messages. Some are just what I call junk dreams, and I disregard them. Junk dreams are chaotic. They have no storyline or themes, and they're often not terribly memorable except for the chaos. But message dreams stick with us a little longer. They seem to have a message, they have some storyline or series of scenes, and they feel different. The thing with dreams is that, like all of these messages, but probably particularly with dreams, is that they can slip pretty easily through our fingers if we don't take note of them. So with dreams, if this is something you want to take up, I'd advise that you keep a little notepad by your bed so that immediately upon waking, you write down the main points of a dream so that you can remember them. If you can't write it down, what I sometimes do is give the dream a title, and that title helps me to remember the storyline and the events. And then later on, when I can write it down, I have something to refer back to. So dream interpretation is a skill you can develop. And if you're interested in learning, I really like Gail Delaney's approach. I put her book here. And it's one that I've used. I find it simple, I find it straightforward, and it's very personalized. If you're familiar with dream interpretation, you may be familiar with dream dictionaries, and they often point to universal meanings of dreams. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I just like her method of honing in on what those symbols mean to you personally. And it can also help you. In some ways, it's the same process with interpreting the messages you get, either clairvoyantly, clairaudiently, all the clairs too. But we've covered a lot. We've covered 10 different types of message forms, and I don't want you to get overwhelmed. I just want you to remember that dreams, they're just one form of soul communication. So this may not be how you like to receive, or but it's there, it's available, and just remember that you don't have to master them all. Just take the best and leave the rest. So it's important to practice some of these things. It's a skill, like any skill, it requires practice. So before our next video, I encourage you to practice the pennies from heaven exercise. Practice noticing synchronicities, opportunities that come up. Practice noticing any delays or blocked paths and closed doors, and dreams, if that's your thing. So that's it for the 10 forms of message delivery from your inner mentor. Video number 5, the next episode in our series, is going to talk about how to formulate targeted, smart questions to get the most useful guidance. How can you ask? Because the guidance you get depends on how good your questions are. The better the question, the more accurate the answer you'll get. And then how to process and use discernment in the guidance you receive. So I'm going to talk about sifting and sorting a bit, and because eventually the information that you receive, the guidance you receive, all plays into making some sort of decision, some sort of navigation decision. So we'll talk about that and how to do that, and I'll see you the next time. Signing off for now. Life's an adventure. Live it.